My, it's the Gilmore Guys. Your reaction to FFFashion, and I guess might stop by. Talking Lori, Roy, Dane, Dean, and Luke, and Loli. Roy, Dane, and Dean, and Luke, and Loli. Yes, it's me. Actually, I'm making a tag. Not making a tag, I'm making up a tag. The Gilmore Guys book tag. You might think, Gilmore Guys? What's that? Have you said Gilmore Girls wrong? Or you might think, yes, a Gilly! Because, yeah, Gilmore Guys is actually a Gilmore Girls podcast. It's the one that 2-3 years ago, when Scott Patterson started making rumors that Gilmore Girls was having a TV series, having a movie, and then it turned out it was nothing. Yeah. He went on Gilmore Guys and did an interview with them, and he said, "There's talks." When, there weren't talks at that point. So that's quite fun, really. Gilmore Guys is, as I said, a podcast based on Gilmore Girls. Kevin Porter and Demi Ajiba. Kevin has been a lifelong Gilmore Girls fan, and Demi hadn't seen one episode before they started the podcast. So it's the concept is that they watch every episode and then analyze them and talk about the episodes. Sometimes it's just those two, and sometimes they do it with a guest. Sometimes actually there are several guests. They actually went to ATX a few years ago. They actually got a cameo in the A Year in Life, and they actually interviewed a lot of people from the TV series. So that's very fun. And Gilmore Girls, Gilmore Guys. It's a podcast you can listen to if you're a Gilmore Girls fan, just because it's fun to hear other people's reactions and ideas. But it's also, some people actually just listen to podcasts and don't watch the TV series, which you can actually do as well. It's different. I loved the Gilmore Girls for a long time, but I think I actually can do both. So, it's a Gilmore Girls readathon, so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna make up a Gilmore Guys book tag in honor of the Gilmore Girls readathon. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just a moment. I just had to find the books I'm using for the tag. Yeah, as normal, I don't prepare for that for tags or videos really. So yeah, just as with the Gilmore Girls readathon, which I think is the idea, is that you can do this tag if you have seen Gilmore Girls, if you're doing the readathon, if you're not doing the readathon, if you just think, if you're a Gilmore Guys fan, if you just think this tag was fun, don't worry, I'll explain all the tags. You don't need to know what's going on to be doing it. You don't need to know the references and stuff to be doing this tag, really. So, yeah. That's enough for intro. Intro for 4 minutes. It happens. So, let's skip down to it. The first question or prompt is pop culture references. Because both in Gilmore Girls because in Gilmore Girls they often have lots of pop culture references, the Gilmore Guys often take the pop culture references and put them into a mash and then listen to them all from the same episode. So the first question is pop culture references. Sorry. Take a book that has lots of pop culture references. So this could be, I suppose, a lot of books. A lot of books use those. Well, maybe not a lot, but some at least do. I'm not sure about this one, but I ended up taking In the Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. It references Harry Potter. It references Spice Girls, Jack the Ripper, which was not pop culture, it's just culture, or the world. But anyway, and sometimes pop culture and the world and historical culture get mixed in. So yeah, I'm taking this one for the first prompt. It's a book that came out a few years ago, based around Jack the Ripper and people and a copycat who's killing people again. So it's murder, but it's also ghosts. So that's quite fun, really. But Maureen Johnson, you should check it out. It's actually the first in a series. The fourth book isn't out yet, but the first three books are. So check it out. And prompt number 2, fashion. A lot of times in the Gilmore Guys podcast, they look at the fashion choices in the Gilmore Girls and talk about which clothes the Gilmore Girls are wearing, and other people in the episode, and talk about if it works or not. Often they ridicule it because often they think it's wrong. I think often the fashion choices in Gilmore Girls are fine, but I thought it's such a staple of Gilmore Guys that I'll add it to this tag. So, take a book with a character that has fashion interest, or where fashion is important to the book. I suppose you have the 8 again. There's probably a lot of books you can go with here. I end up going with Midstate, and this is actually the Spanish version of it. I got some of the Spanish versions when I lived in Chile, this is the Spanish version of Maidstates in Cosmic Kisses. So one of the Izzy books where it's focusing on Izzy, and it's been a while since I read this series, but I think it's Izzy who actually goes to Covent Garden and buys different fabrics and buys old clothes and then makes her own new clothes. So she just likes fashion. So in that way, the Midstate series and Izzy, the character. You check it out. It's a very, very good series. It's middle grade, I would say, but it's a fun series. Next question. Twitter Q&A! The Gilmore Guys uses questions from Twitter and they're discussing in the episode. And because it's such a big part of the series, the podcast, it's in here as well. So this one you can do 2 ways, actually. You can either, it's a bit of a cop-out, but you can do it, a book with a journalist aspect, because questions, journalism, and, Rory wants to be a journalist. Or you can take a book that you've read that you like, but you have a few nitpicks, and you just say what a nitpick is. So it's not a book that you have a plot hole. It's not where it's like huge thing, but it's like a small plot hole, I suppose you can say. Or you probably know what nitpick is. It's a small thing that's not important, or maybe a small plot hole that bothers you. So it can be like a timeline inconsistency, timeline what's the word again? A timeline difference that's wrong. Or it could be a character. What isn't something inconsistency? Inconsistency. I don't really care. But a timeline quirkiness or a character quirkiness that's wrong. And at first it was something like that, and now it's changed something like that without explaining it. Or just nitpick really. I got to go with The Dark Days Pact, a book I read over the weekend for this readathon. In this one, it's not a huge plot point or anything really, but one of the characters, this book takes place in 1800s in England, in high society, and one of the characters is married, and she's been married for a few years, and she keeps, she keeps, words, she keeps missing, she keeps having words. She keeps having miscarriages. Yeah, miscarriages is called. She keeps having miscarriages. So she keeps first she gets pregnant, and then the fetus dies, and then she's just like, my God, I'm useless. I can't be a woman in today's world when I can't give my husband a heir or a daughter, and I'm so useless. And I just kept on thinking while I read this passage, where she just keeps on crying over this thing. Like, adopt? You could always adopt. There's lots of kids out there in the world that have no parents, or just one parent, or no one wants them. I mean, you can adopt, can't you? And if the issue is, well, we have to pretend that it's my kid, well, there's probably lots of babies out there. And there's probably some babies out there that look similar, but the mom looks similar to you, so you can pass them off. I mean, adopt shouldn't really be that big of an issue. I suppose maybe some of the people who are watching this will start commenting and say, well, no, they couldn't adopt in the 1800s because blah 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 blah. So I suppose, yes, but at the same time, this book takes place in the 1800s where there's magic. So you could also have adoption, couldn't you? But it wasn't a big deal, so. But it's a small nitpick, I think, for me. Uh, Next question or prompt is Crazy Hats or ASP. Because ASP, Amy Sherman Palladino, who was the creator of Gilmore Girls. Often in interviews, she has these huge hats, either top hats or cowboy hats, or etc. etc. And the Gilmore Guys often, comment on it sometimes now and then. So here the prompt is to pick a book where one of the characters uses amazingly quirky and weird and big hats. For this one, I'm going with Ivy Tunstall from Changeless, or from the Parasol Protectorate series. This is the third book in the series, and I think that might be Ivy on. No, it's not Ivy on the cover. No, I'm just being silly. I'll check it out and write down in blue if it is Ivy on the cover. But she has the most amazing hats on her the uterus. She's just a big hat lover and just the hugest hats. It's quite fun, really. It's really kind of a part of her character. It's quite fun. So yeah, there's that. And then sorry. The next prompt is Jason Mantzoukas. He's an actor and also a big Gilmore Girls fan, and he's been on the Gilmore Guys podcasts like 7-10 times, like a lot of times really. And he's like, you might have seen him on Borat, or there's different shows he's been in. But anyway, and yeah. Anyway, he's a great actor, but he also was a big Gilmore Girls fan, and yeah, he's been on Gilmore Guys, and he's normally just comes in and starts all fine and said, yeah, I like the episode, didn't like the episode, and it starts all normal, and then suddenly he'll just, yeah, I love that fart joke, or like, Rory has a bad sex life, she has not a good sex life. So out of the blue, he'll just being all saucy and racy and start talking about sex and farts and stuff that's kind of like, oh, that's out of the blue, and just goes way over the top in a way. So, but he has a great heart, and he's full of charming, but he's very charming and he has a great heart, but he's sometimes a bit over the top. I suppose you can say like, ha 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 ha, yeah, Rory, she has bad sex. So yeah, he's been on also on some of the live shows of the Gilmore Guys, and there you can see this aspect very much, I would say. And yeah, so the prompt here is to take a book where it starts all normal and fun, and it's just normal and ordinary, and then one character has lots of sex, and like, oh, okay, now is this a sex book? Oh, okay, now it's full of fart jokes. Okay, well, yeah, you just kind of go on with it. For this one, I went with Things a Bright Girl Can Do by Sally Nichols. It starts as a suffragette story where different teens in England around around the First World War, and they're trying to get the right to vote. You have one that's middle class, one that's low class, and one that's high class, and then they all meet in some places, and then two of them are lesbians, and then first they just start flirting and just meeting, and after a while there's like, oh, now there's a sex scene with them. Oh, cool. You don't really see it. You don't really. At least I didn't anticipate it. But when it's there, you're like, oh, okay, I'm game for this. I'm game for this. So yeah, things a bright girl can do. I really recommend this one as well, as I have in previous videos. And then the next one is starting with William, and suddenly my voice is all coffee. Yeah. Time machine. Yeah, because in the Gilmore Guys, they in the later seasons, like they do all the Gilmore Girls seasons, so they start with season 1, etc., etc. In the late, when they've gotten to season 4 or 5, they actually gotten some. They got some help from one of the listeners who sent them all of the promos for Gilmore Girls, and some of the promos for Gilmore Girls are very, very strange. They take things totally out of context, and it totally makes a wrong picture and everything. So the prompt here is take a book that was badly promoted, where it's told you something, that this book was going to be something, and then we read it and we're like, whoa, it's not that at all, it's more that. Oh, so yeah, I just had to get another book. So yeah, the prompt here is to get a book that was badly promoted, where all the promos and all the marketing was telling you, this book is this, it's full of this and this and this, and then you read it like, it has none of that stuff in it. It might be good, but it has none of the stuff you promised me. So yeah, here I'm going with Frankly in Love by David Yoon. I just read it yesterday, as you probably know, or you might know if you pay attention. And this one was marketing as the fake dating trope and very romance heavy, or at least that's the way I was thinking about this book before I read it. And I would say it wasn't that romance heavy, and the fake dating trope, spoiler, 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 the fake dating thing actually was kind of over in kind of the middle of the book. So I felt it was kind of weird to have the fake thing as a huge thing on marketing when, it wasn't. And from the very start, it was kind of clear that he wasn't going to go for the fake dating girlfriend, like for the rest of the thing, really. And also, this book, it gets around maybe the third part of the book. It gets kind of serious and dark. I didn't expect that at all. Like, I knew there was some racist aspects in it, and I expected it. But I didn't expect it solely the way it went. So I feel a bit like it was bad promoted, really, this book. Yep. Next question is, and this is more of a creative prompt, really, or you could say a creative-ish. Sony. So the Gilmore Guys often, or in the later seasons, they start talking about how all the boyfriend that Rory has are white. None of them are Latina or black or Asian. Like, I suppose you could count Gus because the actor is Italian, but he doesn't look like stereotypical Italian. And yeah, there's not that many black people either in the Gilmore Girls TV series. So after a while, Kevin and Demi of the Gilmore Guys, they invented Tony a new boyfriend of Rory. That's Sony is black and he's full of confidence and he doesn't like to read, but he has all the confidence. It's just very different from all the other boyfriends that Rory has had. So the prompt here is to make up a non-white character to show up in a very white environment or book, because some books have or book series have more or less just white characters and they feature more or less no racial diversity. This one actually, I kind of actually couldn't find an answer for myself actually, because I just kind of thinking all the time like, well, what book series have I read and has no diverse racial characters? And honestly, I can't think of any. So what do you do for me? But I suppose there are a lot of books out there that are famous and that have more or less no diverse racial characters. So this one is for you. Make up a character that would fit into those universes, and just like name him or her, give them a age, and tell them like in what relationship are they, how they relate to other characters. Are they a new person at school? Are they a new neighbor? Etc. 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 So yeah, and that's the Tony prompt. And then the last one is simply called Gilmore Guys. This here is a book featuring a man who's not a man, well, so a man or a male character who's interested in something unmanly. Because often you think that Gilmore Girls is like a girly show. Often men aren't they aren't interested in watching it because it's just a girly show. It's a show for girls. It's not for us. But then after a while they start to see it and they think, oh yeah, there's some stuff in here for me too. It's not just girls talking, but it's just have lots of appeal really. So yeah, so a book that has a male character that does something something girly. It could be girly. It could be dancing. It could be cooking. It could be what do you want really. Here, I actually don't have the book right here with me. I had it once upon a time. Don't know where it went to. But I'll link it in doobly-doo. And it's Teen Idol by Meg Cabot. A Meg Cabot shout out! Surprise! And in Teen Idol, one of the characters is male, and he actually took a cooking course because he was actually went into a bit of trouble with the law, and then he had to take a cooking course to like behavior to behave better, or like as a community service thing. And yeah, after that he just really liked to cook, and this is because often girls are seen as the people who should be in the kitchen or who likes to cook in books and in media. So here it's a guy who likes to cook. And that's that. That is the Gilmore Guys tag. I hope you liked it. As normal, it went on a bit long, but it is kind of fun to like elaborate. I mean, it's also an original tag, so you kind of have to elaborate and like tell you about how you came to those different stuff and what's the reasoning behind them and stuff. So yeah, I hope you like this tag. I hope you like it. I hope you do it. Anyone's invited to do it, as I said. If you're a gilly is a Gilmore Girls fan. If you're a gilly, if you're just a fan of booktube, if you're a fan of books, if you're a fan of Gilmore Guys, just for whatever reason, if you want to do this tag. And I'm excited to see if a lot of people do this tag. Might be that you do, might be that you don't. I don't know. I actually have quite a few tags, original tags planned, and I'll do more in the future. But this, here right here, is my first original tag. it's been fun. I'll link the Gilmore Guys podcast in the doobly-doo and a teen idol, and I'll also write the prompts in the doobly-doo. And yeah, Renee out.